Hey you guys, Desmond here,
And LaCresha.
and welcome back to the channel. And today we are here to discuss RuPaul's Drag Race Season 16, Episode 6? 7. 6.
We've only gotten rid of like two queens.
No, this is the fourth queen. Yeah, so 6, Episode 6, Episode 6.
Okay.
But before we get into it, just want to remind everyone to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. We would greatly appreciate that. You know, we have our goal to reach 1,000 subscribers, and we would love to reach it sooner rather than later.
By
So,
July.
what did you think of this week's design branding challenge?
It was different, unique. I liked it.
I'm gonna say overall, I thought this was a pretty good episode. I liked the little twist that they did with the design challenge.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I do have some questions,
Mm.
and we're going to be talking about someone's inner saboteur.
Mm.
But yeah, overall, as an episode, I thought it was really good. Really good. So let's go ahead and get into the gig. It was right after Amanda's unjustified elimination. We come in, they read her message. Q talks about how you'll never see her there again. Well, we have a Rusical next week, so there's a good chance we'll see you there again. Um, Let me quit being mean. She might turn it out. So they sit down and they congratulate Team Thick and Stick for getting the win this week.
They were so shady about that.
Oh yeah,
Good job.
they're
Congratulations
shared.
on your quarter win.
Your shared
But a
win. And I'm
win's a
like, which is
win.
more than what some of y'all have. So
That part.
like, I don't care if it's a shared win. If I got a win, that's a win. Okay.
A win is a win.
The only thing we had to share was the prize money, which I still think Drag Race has enough money to just split out 5,000 for all four of them instead of making them split $5,000.
Mm-hmm.
But we will move on from that.
12.50.
So, Tsunami and Q discussed about, Q mentioning her name.
Mm-hmm.
And I really love when Tsunami was like, well, RuPaul only asked for one name and you gave two. Like, you went out of your way to put me in your business.
mm.
Which I still don't understand where it came from.
I don't either. I
I
think
don't.
just insecurities.
It's just like, if RuPaul asks for one name, just give one name, okay?
Just one.
Unless you're gonna do like what Lux did last season and read every single one of them before you make your decision, then that's
Mm-hmm.
fine. Because if you would have went down the line and said, "Oh, Q was she is Q. Saphira is this, Plain is that, Morphine is this, blah blah is this. My pick overall is that." I would have been fine with. But yeah, Q is really starting to.
Irked my nerves.
Yeah, and I like Q, but she's trying so hard. She's trying so hard, and it's coming off as desperate. There we go. That's what it is. She's coming off as desperate. I'm like, honey, just relax. Just relax. You're putting a lot of pressure on you when we're still in the early stages of the competition.
Right.
Now, I can understand if we're halfway or towards the end of the competition and you still didn't have a win, then okay, I get it. I would feel the same way you're feeling.
Right.
But honey, there's still 12 of y'all in here. Relax.
Mm.
Relax. So, we're moving on to Plain Jane saying she's gonna turn a new leaf. We'll see. As we see, she tried. I will give her props. She tried, and we got a little bit of her backstory, which to me doesn't justify her behavior. But I do.
No.
I guess I understand it now.
Mm-hmm.
I understand it. I still don't justify it, but I get it. I'm like, okay. Okay, I wonder if they're going to try to do a redemption arc with her.
Mm.
That's going to be my question because I don't think we've seen a true villain to, I guess you could say, hero story arc since, I want to say, Violet from season 7. Because, at the beginning of that season, she was very much the villain. But by the end,
Mm-hmm.
everybody, they did a good redemption on her. So I wonder if they're going to try to do that with her. We'll just have to wait and see.
Mm.
So we come into the workroom the next day. They're talking. The alarm goes off. RuPaul gives the room mail and enters the workroom. RuPaul announces that this week we will have a mini challenge. Amen. And to help judge this mini challenge, we are going to be joined by Charo. Gucci, Gucci, Gucci. I just love Charo so much. Her energy is always contagious and fun, and I'm always excited to see what she's gonna do, what she's gonna say. And
Mm-hmm.
I was watching. I can't remember what I was watching, but someone was working an event that Charo worked, and like while people were setting up, she was walking around talking, laughing, and joking with everybody. And I'm like, I love that. I love hearing stories like that.
Where they're
Because
personable.
yeah, because you hear about these celebrities all the time, not acknowledging the other people in the room, not caring about the people who is setting everything up for them. So to hear that Chara went out of her way to make sure she introduced herself to everyone and had a good time with everybody, I appreciate hearing that, me personally. So this
Mm-hmm.
week's mini challenge is they have to do a little flamenco dancing
Yeah.
with these two professional dancers here, and they have 30 minutes to get into quick drag.
At least it wasn't 15 minutes.
That was my thing. I'm like, we're truly back. It's 30 minutes. Because what was it? No, Italy was giving them the time. It was one country. I can't remember what it was. They were like, "Oh, you
Mexico.
was it Mexico?" But they were like,
It was
"Oh, you got
Mexico.
10 minutes. Oh, you got 5 minutes." So what do you mean?
And the Philippines.
I think it was the Philippines that I'm probably thinking of. I'm like, at least give them 30, okay? RuPaul says we got a long day ahead of us. 30 minutes. Go ahead, take your time.
Mm.
Like that's still a lot of time. But they get into their quick drag, and I just got a screenshot of some of my favorite ones. I really enjoyed Geneva here. Morphine was good. Maya was good. Tsunami ate it up.
Of course.
I really love Nymphia. I thought she did a really good job. Megami. And then I included Q's because it was so funny. I love that she played into the fact that she can't dance. She's
Mm.
like, okay, I can't dance. Let's make it part of the stick. And I loved it.
Yeah.
And I love how she had the little hand clappers. I'm like, oh, yeah. So I thought that was really funny. I'm like, look at you. So RuPaul and Charo gave him a little Gucci goo. And Charo announces that the winner this week is Tsunami Muse. Do you agree?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think she did the best in the mini challenge. And because she won the mini challenge, she won a trip to Spain.
Hey.
I love that. And then I saw on Twitter either today or yesterday, apparently she can't go on the trip. I guess she doesn't have the time or, so she's giving it to Hershey. So I thought that was sweet. I'm like, oh. So we're moving on to this week's Maxi Challenge, which is a design challenge. Not only do they have to design a look for them, but also a doll. So, as
Mm-hmm.
RuPaul said, it's a design challenge, a branding challenge, and a storytelling challenge because you got to come up with your story for your doll that
Right.
represents yourself in an outfit that matches the one you have on your body.
Ooh.
So, they're running through and they're picking up their materials. Is there anything in particular that caught your eye that you would have went for?
No, not really.
For me,
I
I think I would have went for this lavender here. You didn't really see a lot of lavender. I think
Yeah.
I think I would have ran for that or orange. You know me, anything orange or goldish.
Right.
If I couldn't,
Anything to make yourself stand out.
yeah, like if I couldn't get to that, and I would have saw the lavender over there. Okay, all right, I can do something with this over here. You know what I'm saying? But
There
I agree.
wasn't a lot of green either,
But I
so
agree with. I think it was Law who said, if I would have saw somebody else with the same material as me, I would have went and got different material.
right.
There was too many with the baby powder blue. I would have been
Yeah.
like, oh no, I see too many. I don't care how far I am. Let me go over here and get something else.
Mm-hmm.
No ma'am, no ham, and no turkey.
Well, you had one that was trying for red, and I don't know what in the world they were making that they ran out of material.
Yeah, but my thing is like,
Why didn't you just add another material to it?
I'm finna say, I imagine there would have been some material that would have went well with the red material. Now, if you were
Exactly.
trying to make some ball gown or something and you ran out of material, okay, I see that because how are
Hmm.
we going to incorporate another fabric? But I felt like she abandoned that red fabric just too easily, especially after Plain wanted it. Now, granted, would I have given it to Plain? No.
No.
But if I was Plain and I saw that she was just gonna scrap it, I'd been like, and you couldn't have gave me that. Shoot. But
You
yeah.
wanted it so bad.
But here's a few of the dolls that they have to make over. So they get to work. Now let's get to the main stage. And up first we have Mother Ru herself. What do you think of RuPaul's look this week?
This was a unique look.
It is
I'm
unique.
not a big fan of the wig.
It is unique, but I like it.
Yeah.
I really do like it. It's something different for Mama Ru. I agree. I wish she would have wore like the traditional big hair that she normally wears. I think that would have fit
Hmm.
better with this outfit. But it looks good, and I applaud her for doing something a little different. A little different.
Right.
This week we're joined by Michelle Visage, T.S. Madison, and our special guest judge, La Roche.
Mm.
Can we make him a permanent judge next year? Like, I said it while watching it. I went online and everybody else was talking about it. I think that could be a quality of life update for Drag Race. Because we've had
Hmm.
Carson and Ross for since season 7.
Right.
We're now on season 16.
Right.
So I think it's time. We appreciate y'all for what y'all did. I've enjoyed y'all.
Mm.
But I think it's time for some new people, and we got a little bit when they brought in T.S. Madison last season. So I think if
Mm.
they just, kind of phase out Ross and Carson and bring in Law, I think that will improve the quality of the show.
Yeah.
And,
I
you'll
mean,
still.
because he wasn't mean about it. He was very
I will say he was nice today.
gentle.
Because for those of us who've watched Legendary, we know
Hmm.
how vicious Law could get. So we saw nice Law.
Very
Even
nice
even
law.
when he said, I believe it was to Geneva Carr about the Danny DeVito legs,
Hmm.
there was some people whining about that. I'm like, oh, y'all clearly didn't watch Legendary because ooh wee,
Mm.
ooh wee, Law ate them up every week, out every week. Looked for something to eat them up on. But yeah, I think it'll be a great quality of life update for the show, just to give it,
Mm.
just to refresh it a little bit, because
Just
we
to
know
breathe
RuPaul and
new
Michelle.
life
Yeah,
into it.
we know RuPaul and Michelle aren't going nowhere.
Of
And
course,
we
they're
just
the
got T.S. Madison, so I don't think it'd be fair for her to go. So let Ross and
right.
Carson step out. If you want to bring in maybe Nicole Byer or Lonnie Love, because you remember from, what was it, season 13? They were the
Hmm.
rotating guest judges for the whole season. And
Hmm.
I really enjoyed them. Like, I thought that was a really good. I know they had to do it because of COVID, but I really enjoyed having a fresh set of eyes there every
Right.
week. But yeah, that's just our suggestion, RuPaul and World of Wonder and all them. Go ahead and bring Law in permanently. So, the category is Welcome to the Dollhouse. Up first, we have Tsunami Muse, almost said news, with her Fashion Week edition. For me, this doesn't give Fashion Week.
No.
I wish she would have gave it a different name, but overall, I do like it.
Right.
Um, I feel like the pants. I know on a doll and on a person, there's gonna be some differences, but I feel like
Mm.
the pants are a different shade of blue,
They're a different fabric.
and that bothers me. But
Yeah,
overall,
they're
I thought
they're
Tsunami did a
different
good
fabric.
job.
Velvet's really hard to manipulate that
Mm.
little.
What did you think of her look
So,
and the doll's look?
um, I feel like I congratulate her on making some
I
pants
know, because that
that
is not
fit and
easy.
look good,
That is not easy. And you actually made them,
especially.
unlike somebody else, and tried to just slide them on. Love you, Hershey, but that just behooved
hmm
me.
um, especially since those were velvet, and velvet is really tough to work with. Um, it's a little. I like the outfit on her, not so much on the doll. Like there's
I,
there's there's a plus and a bonus like
mm-hmm.
on certain things like the crushed velvet gloves. Obviously, I think she made the gloves and realized, oh yeah, the pants aren't gonna work. Um, and then it looks a little thrown on the top part on the doll,
Mm-hmm.
whereas the top looks a lot better on her.
All right, let's move onwards to Saphira Cristal, giving the Grand Dame La Diva Metropolitan Opera Edition doll. And here they are side by side. I thought Saphira did a really good job here.
Yeah, she made no sense to me this
I think
episode.
she really let the others get in her head because, in my
Yes, she
opinion,
really
if she
did.
wouldn't have used the immunity, I feel like this would have been in the top.
It would have.
Um, the only thing that really gets me is I wish she had on a wig that was kind of blown to the side like the doll,
Right.
just to bring it into full circle. But overall, I
Mhm.
really enjoyed it. Um,
Right.
it was good. That small breastplate, though, is going to be the death of me.
Right. Her no, that ain't gonna work either. But I
No,
don't know why she.
I mean, if
But
this is
she
the
should
only
have
one she
borrowed.
brought, she stuck with it for the season. But I wish
Right.
somebody would have been like, "Hey, sis, before, while she was packing, that's a little too small. Maybe go up a size or two."
Stuff it.
Yeah, and I'm not the biggest. I don't want Jimbo size titties, but for her body frame, I just feel like they need to be just a little big, especially when you look at it
Right.
sideways.
Yeah.
And I know boobs come in all shapes and all sizes. Just for the illusion
Exactly.
that's in my head, I
But
think
if
a
you're gonna
size up
try
or
and get
two.
body proportions correct, then you should have gone with maybe a large C as opposed to that small B.
But yeah, overall, I really like this look. We'll talk about that inner saboteur here in a minute.
Mm.
Up next is Plasma, giving us the passenger on the Pacific Edition. I was really confused on the critiques for this outfit because I really enjoyed this. I
Mm-hmm.
thought this was a safe. Like, I didn't think it should have been in the top or anything.
Right.
But when they announced the tops and bottoms, I'm like, oh, did they put Plasma in the top? I'm like, okay,
Right.
I wouldn't have put her there, but that's good. Good. Good for her to get another top placement. And then the critique started, and I'm like, oh.
They didn't like it.
And it just, I get it. Her headpiece situation, I forget what you call those things,
The
felt,
headscarf.
her headscarf, thank you. Yes, it fell off, and I do agree she should have just let it fall off and keep going and not trying to keep
Mm-hmm.
putting it back up. But to me, that
She
wasn't a
kept
big
trying to
enough
keep
issue
the
to put her in the
illusion, but
bottom.
she messed the illusion up when she kept trying to put it on.
Because when it first slid off, I'm like, okay, it slid off cool. But then she tried to put it back, and I'm like, oh. So this is what they're going to try to say. But yeah, overall, I was confused by her placement because I thought this was good, safe, and
Mm.
Plasma is a queen that's growing on me. Remember, I wasn't really Plasma's biggest fan the first couple episodes because she swore the world was out to get her. But I will say she is growing on me more and more. What did you think of Plasma's look?
It's a little basic, but for somebody who barely knows how to sew, she did better than I could.
Thank you. Moving on to Plain Jane, giving us the aquatic edition.
Man.
I'm gonna let you go first on this one.
I like it on the doll.
And
I mean, it's constructed very well.
and
It's a good outfit.
for me, I think this is good. I don't think this should have been the bottom, but I was very confused that she got a top placement here. I will say her story, like her little voiceover, was probably the best, and I think that's probably what got her up there. But
Mm-hmm.
to me, the design it weighs more than the storytelling. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And the branding, I feel like So it just was this good? Yes. Was this top three worthy? In my opinion, no. Um, yeah, and I was watching the pit stop, and I believe it was Trixie who said, "The longer you stare at it, the longer you don't like it." Because she was like, when it first came out, she's like, "Oh, cute," but as it kept going and going, she's like, "Oh," and you start noticing more things, and I'm like, and I'm really shocked. Michelle didn't say
Wow.
anything about it being just a leotard, because she's quick
Right.
to hit
But
folks
I
with that.
mean, she's quick to say that for people who just give leotard after leotard after leotard. I'm not saying this is the first leotard, but you know.
I'm finna say, I want to say this is the second leotard she's given. The first was during her burger finger, which that annoyed me. I'm sorry,
Everybody.
but burger finger just isn't the tea girl. Like I don't like burger finger.
No.
I really don't. But yeah, this is a cute look. Moving on to Nymphia Wynn, giving us the Spring Banana Yellow Carpet Edition. I thought this was stunning. This was put together real nice. My only thing is, why is Herbo pink?
Yeah, that kind of
Like honestly, I
confused
thought she
me.
was gonna be in the top. I didn't think she was gonna win, but I
Right.
felt like this should have been in the top over Plain. Um,
Yeah.
because
I
overall,
I think I wish the dang bow on the doll had been pink too.
that part, like, say if you ran out of yellow material and you had the pink and you made a bow, I imagine it's not too hard to make a small little pink bow and attach it to the doll.
Right.
And I feel like that would have gave it that connection that it needed because everything
Hmm.
else is stunning. And even with the bow not matching, I still think this is one of the better
Right.
looks on the runway this week.
Hmm.
So I was really shocked when RuPaul said safe. I'm like, safe?
Mm.
Okay. What did you think of Nymphia Wind and her yellow carpet banana exclusive, the house down Yes God Mama Boots edition?
I liked it. I thought it was really well executed. I like the way that it flowed down the thing, and I like the pink bow on the yellow. I just wish the doll had had the pink bow on the yellow.
That's all. That really is. Up next is Morphine Love Dion, the Miami Bimbo edition.
Hmm.
I thought this was really good. And I hate that she got the critique last week saying that she's more than her BBL because with this also being a branding challenge, this will be the outfit I'll been like really show us your ass. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly, especially with the outfit she created.
And like, you still gotta see a little bit of it, but I feel like if she wouldn't have got that critique last week, it would have been on full display.
Right.
But other than that, I really enjoyed this. I thought it was cute. I like it better on her than the doll. I wish she would have worked more on the proportions of the doll.
Hmm.
But yeah, overall, I thought this was a good job. What did you think of Morphine?
Well, all right. Um, yeah, I like it better on her than the doll as well. Why does her foot look blue? Them lights, man,
Yeah,
killing
the
me.
lights are making her foot look blue.
I was like, I know she ain't got blue stockings on. I do like the way that everybody kind of like rhinestoned the shoes on their dolls.
Yeah.
I thought that was like brilliant, beyond brilliant. Um, there's nothing you can do about fabric size in comparison to like a human and a doll. So, although that hair, I wish she did something to
Yeah.
that doll's hair.
And my thing is, if you were gonna have big hair like this on the doll, you should be wearing big hair as well.
Exactly. I think she just found a wig, put it on there, and was like, "Here."
Moving on to Maya Iman Page, the Queen of Flips edition.
Hey.
I agree with Michelle. She was talking about all them flips. I thought she was gonna give us one or two.
Right.
Now, granted, we got to see them a little bit later,
Mm.
but yeah, I was kind of like, oh, I'm like, was she scared the outfit was gonna fall apart if she tried to do a flip? Because that'd be my worry, especially if I made it. I'm like,
Mhm.
I don't want to flip. At least let me lip sync so that if it rips while I'm flipping, I can work it into the song or something. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But yeah, overall, I want to say this. I should have said this at the beginning. Nobody really did bad except for one person. We're going to talk about her. But I felt like everybody else did a decent job. And I thought this was a decent job. But just
Right.
compared to
Even if
what.
she did have, somebody else sew it for her practically.
But yeah, but compared to what everybody else brought to the runway, I do agree with her
Hmm.
placement.
Right.
What did you think of my Iman LePage?
Um, it was a pretty decent outfit. I'm assuming she was just like trying to work into her brand, which is all good and gravy. Um, do I want her to have a good maybe one good flip, like, just kind of went to the edge of the stage, gave us that one good flip, and even if it was just like the little tuck and roll like she gave us last week, like that would have been all right. Um, I don't, I do wish she would have patted her doll just a little bit,
Yeah,
got some
when the
Q-tips.
judges said that, I was like, I can see it. I can see
Yeah,
it.
maybe not Q-tips, got some cotton pads and just kind of
Yeah, and
shoved
just
it
kind
in
of
there,
flatten it out, make it look real good for her.
gave her a little bit of a bootyliciousness. Um, but other than that, like it's constructed well, but then again, she had a lot of help.
Up next is Megami, the Native New Yorker edition. Baby, that is one of my favorite songs. Native New Yorker. What is that group called? Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, dun. You're a native New Yorker. Never been to New York, but I love that song so much.
I haven't been in years. I want to go back.
That is the plan to hopefully work in a second trip a year. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to make it work this year, but like going forward, doing like 2 trips a year. Obviously, one to LA because I want to continue to go to DragCon,
Hmm.
and then another place where I haven't been. But yeah,
Um,
Megami's look here. I thought this was amazing. This is another one I was kind of like, ooh, this one could have been in the top as well.
especially for somebody to have. I don't. Yeah, they did good. I didn't know New York's colors were orange and blue. I don't know what colors I thought they were. I didn't think they were orange and blue.
Yeah. It's easy for Texas because ours are the same colors as the American
Flag,
flag, red, white, and blue.
because Texas is full of itself.
At all times. But yeah, Megami, I have the same critique for the doll. I wish there was some padding on it.
Hmm.
But Megami looks good here. The proportions are correct. I love those shoes. Like, everything just works for me here.
Right, and she looked just like the doll, other than the fact that the doll needed some padding.
Yeah, like, I was really shocked this was safe. I'm like, oh.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, we could have gave her another week. She had the win last week, give her another high placement. But hey,
Mm-hmm.
up next is Geneva Carr, the daintiest doll in Texas edition.
Mm.
This is the one I was talking about that I, I,
Mm,
I didn't like this at all. I really didn't. I like the ruffle better on the doll. I like the
yeah.
skirt better on the doll.
Mm-hmm.
Why does your doll not have a strap around her ankle like you do? Why do you not have more distinguished white on the inside of your eyes like your doll do? Like you could see it. And I'm like,
Right.
you could have painted that extra white in there.
Right. I mean, you do your own makeup. You get you some foundation or something, and yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, this was a no for me, dog. And I love me some Geneva because that's my
Mm.
Texas girl. I've been rooting for her, but yeah, this is a no for me, dog. Is there
Yeah.
anything else you want to add to this?
No.
All right, let's move onwards and forward. Up
You know
next.
what's really sorry.
Oh no, you're
I
good.
thought about it afterwards. Like the thing is if you made that, you could have took your little piece of red fabric and made your shirt out of that piece of red fabric, and it would have just been red and white, and then you would have stood out. That's dumb.
I agree with that. Up next is Dawn, the Galactic Empress edition. What did you think of Dawn's look here?
Dawn did so good.
I love this so
She
much.
did so good.
Like it
It
was
looks
so elegant. Like
professional.
this, I thought she was going to the Met Gala. Like this is something I would see for the Met
Right.
Gala for
Well,
Space
Law,
Night.
look, Law said he was like, this is something I would have pulled. And I do believe he would have pulled it for Zendaya, honestly, because he's
Yeah,
pulled something like this, very similar to this for Zendaya, because it's very familiar to her Joan of Arc look from the Met Gala.
this was amazing. Um, I wasn't expecting this from Dawn,
Mm-hmm.
but yet this still feels very much like Dawn, and it feels like her brand, even though it doesn't have the elf ears.
Right.
Which I'm still mad that Michelle gave her that critique because I'm like, girl, really?
But she was so clever about it
Yeah,
because it's one thing to sit there and be like, "Oh, I can't wear my ears." Okay, I can't wear my ears. I'm just going to cover them up then.
yeah,
You
you
don't know if
can't
I
say
got these things on or not.
that part. They could be pinned down for all you know. Shoot. But yeah, Don did a really good job here. And then up next, I believe the last one, Q, giving us the fantasy edition.
Mm,
Eight.
8.
Ate this up, honey. Ate this for breakfast, lunch, and twice for dinner, honey. I
Okay.
loved every piece of this. This is what happens when you have a true sewer. Like
Mm,
this is good. Like I can't praise this enough. What do you got to say about Q's look here?
she looks like melted chocolate. It's great.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Real good, real good. So we have our queens here. Who had your favorite look this week?
Mm, I'm going to say Dawn.
Dawn, that's a good pick. That's a good pick. I picked Q. I thought she had the best look of the week, hands down.
She did. I'm not even going to lie. She did.
So, before we get to, who's safe and who's not, like every week, RuPaul asked the queens if they want to use their immunity potion. So, she goes to Saphira Cristal, and she said, yeah.
Yeah, that surprised me.
Oh, not only you, Michelle, and TS's face while she did it. Like, honestly, my face is very similar to these two. I'm like, wait, why are you drinking it? You did a
Right.
great job. Now looking at
Right.
all of them, I wouldn't have put you in the top, but you were a good safe.
Right.
A good safe. I was sitting there like that inner saboteur. It'll get you every time. And even in her confessional, she was like, right after I drank it, I knew immediately
Right.
that I messed up. But that little voice in your head can get really loud.
Mm-hmm.
Really loud. I just hope there's not a situation in the upcoming weeks where she
She
bombs
could have
and she could have used
needed
it
it.
there instead
Mm-hmm.
of here when she really didn't need to. But yeah,
At
Michelle
all.
and TS's face, it was my face. I'm like, what are
Ooh,
you doing?
that woke me up. What are you doing?
No, ma'am. No, ma'am. So they asked Plain Jane, and she says she does not want to use it.
Because Plain Jane knew, look, I
So
might not win this, but
yeah. So afterwards, RuPaul announces in the top we have Plain Jane, Dawn, and Q, and in the bottom we have Plasma, Maya, and Geneva. Do you agree with the top and bottom placements?
yeah.
I don't. So in the top, I would take Plain Jane out.
Well,
I
yeah.
would either put Nymphia or Megami there.
Mm-hmm.
Probably Megami. She needs a little bit more praise. And I wouldn't have Plain in the bottom. I would take Plain straight out of there. And
Mm-hmm.
oh, I don't know who I would replace in Plain's spot.
But
I'm trying to think who would I replace. Did I put it in my notes? Because sometimes I'll put it in my notes. Let me see. My notes. Okay. Um, I did not. Oh, Tsunami. I would have put her low. I wouldn't have had a lip sync, but she would have been low. I feel like there was enough to give some constructive criticism about,
mm-hmm.
because what she did was good. It didn't make sense on the story you were telling me,
Right.
and the colors weren't matching. But that's how I would have judged this. But hey, this is not Desmond's Drag Race, it's RuPaul's. And RuPaul
Exactly.
decided that Q was the winner of this week's challenge. Do you agree?
Yeah.
I agree as well. And our bottom two is Maya and Geneva. Do you agree with this?
I believe Geneva should be there
I
as much
do.
as I don't want her to be there.
I'm finished. I feel like Geneva and Maya are there. And Maya knew because you see she changed her shoes.
Yeah.
She's like,
So did
yeah, I know I'm finna be out there. Let me go and put these on real quick. She said I'm finna give them a show. So we find out
mm-hmm.
that the lip sync song is Control by Janet Jackson. I
I
have
said,
been
oh, they got money,
I have
money.
been waiting for this for so many seasons. I can mark it off my list of songs that I want done on a lip sync for your life, legacy for the world. I don't care. Somebody needs to lip sync to it. Now, do I still have like 6 other Janet songs on there? Yes.
Of course.
But we could take this one off. Um, Maya ate this up.
Of course. I look, I can tell who they want to win by the song that they play. And as soon as I was like control, oh, they wanted Mayo to win.
Now, you can say that, but typically, from my understanding, like with a challenge like this would have took 2 days. At the beginning of the first day, the producers would have came in and said, "Hey, this week's lip sync song is Control." Before they even started the challenge, be like, "Hey, y'all are gonna be lip syncing to Control by Janet Jackson." Letting y'all know now.
Right.
Then the challenge happens. Now, do I think sometimes the song determines who gets put in the bottom? Yes. Or
Yes.
get put in the top? Yes.
Yes.
But in this case, this just worked out because
Yes.
she should have been the bottom. And also, she should have lip synced to this song. So, like, two things
Mm.
can be true at the same time. But
Yes.
this backflip into a split, I was almost deceased. I was almost deceased. She had a Janet Jackson moment and her titty popped out, but she flopped it back in there, honey. So smooth, you didn't even realize it until it clipped back to her and it was covered up again. I'm like, oh, she pulled it up.
Yep.
But yeah, Maya really did that. And Geneva, you tried.
We tried.
Like that weird arm motion, and I'm glad Plasma said something. I'm like, what is this weird arm motion she's doing here, honey? But at this point, we've seen Geneva lip sync 3 times. Well, 4 if
Mm-hmm.
you count the girl group challenge because she had the lip sync in that.
Mm-hmm.
So we've seen everything that she can give with the songs that she's given. I imagine there's a lot more she could do.
Mm-hmm.
But then she's choosing the songs that she's doing out there in the world.
Right.
Because I never discredit anybody for being like a bad lip syncer, because I'm like, these aren't the songs you normally would pick. Like, I want to see a
Exactly.
song you would have picked. Let me go to your show and see what you do. And be like, oh,
Okay.
okay, Big Purr. Like,
Right.
who was it? Jada Shada Hudson. You know,
Mm-hmm.
we saw her at the DragCon. I'm not sure were you there with me when she was performing on the main stage?
No.
Okay. I was there while she was performing. I'm like, wow, this was so much better than what we saw on Drag Race. Because, you know, every lip sync, I'm like, send Jada home. Send Jada home. Send Jada home. I was not living for her lip syncs. But I think it was just the song choices. Like, there, she chose the
Right.
song, and she did an amazing job up there on that stage.
You're right. I mean, that's just like how I had to learn my lesson the hard way. But then, of course, I ended it. Me and Minnie Cooper, we family
Oh,
now.
with me. Baby, she wanted to let you know she could perform, honey.
Okay, like found me on Instagram and was like, "Ma'am, check this out real quick." I'm like, "Ma'am, I didn't even know you watched us."
I'm
Hello.
finna say, I knew before you did, because I think she commented on a video. And she was like,
Yeah,
oh, love you guys. And I'm like, oh, she watched. But I guess you didn't see it, and I don't think I brought it up to you until she until she slid into them DMs. And she's like, ma'am,
just so you know.
just so you know. Just
I
so you know.
can lip sync. I was just playing it. Like, my bad. Look, and I retraced my steps. I apologize the next time we recorded. I was like, my bad. My bad.
Yeah, in her case, she was dressed as a clown, so I probably would have
Exactly. And
done
she
the
was
same.
just working into it.
Yeah, I probably would have done the same thing, being dressed as a clown. I probably would have gave you the full
Clown
emotion with it too.
experience.
Yeah. So after the lip sync, RuPaul announces that the winner is Maya Iman LePage. We
Sandwich.
agree. Like, she ate
Yeah.
that up. Like, there was no way, no way,
Yeah.
not at all. Which means, Geneva, honey, we enjoyed you, but that means you got to go home. So
Mm-hmm.
after she
Come on back
sashayed
to Texas.
away, they danced on the main stage. Like, they didn't just crush somebody's dreams. And we find out next week that we're going to be doing a rusical called The
Mm.
Sound of Rusic.
Yeah.
And apparently there's going to be a special guest choreographer to go with the choreographer they have. I'm excited to see who it could be.
Mm.
I think it has to be someone big, probably like a. They responded as if that was a big celebrity.
Right.
So maybe there's a famous choreographer that's gonna pop through next week, or maybe it's just one of the Rue girls. And like if it's Alyssa Edwards, like I know people would live for Alyssa Edwards.
Queen Kong.
Baby, if they done got Queen Kong up in these straits. But then again, I'm not sure if the girls watch the international franchises like that to give that reaction. Because you can always tell, like with UK versus the world, you could
Mm-hmm.
tell Mayhem didn't know any of the queens by her reaction. She was like, yeah, oh, hi. Like, very much. Even though she
So good to
watched,
see you too.
it's good to see you. But yeah, so I'm excited to see who it could possibly be. But yeah, that's all
Mm.
we have for this episode. Is there anything else you want to add?
Nope.
All right, well, let's wrap things up. Krisha, where can they find you on social media?
You can find me at Krisha McGill. That's CRESHAMCGILL on all social media.
And you can find me in the club, pocket full of bud, mama. But if I'm not there, you can find me on all social media platforms at Simply Desmond. That's SimplyDesmond. Thank you so much for spending a piece of your day with us. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And we'll see you tomorrow. Bye.